It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And yes, it is Monday, although it might not feel like it because we're bringing you all the right stuff, ticking all the boxes this morning, and we're going to carry on right now. And especially for those entrepreneurs and budding business enthusiasts, you want to listen up. You want to start a business? Well, you really need only two things, and that's a great idea as well as funding. And if you already have the idea but just need the funding, then you're definitely going to want to listen closely to our next guest. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Michael Deploy, the CEO of Cashflow Capital. Michael, how are you doing?
Good. I feel like a bit of a buzzkill.
No ways,
Been
man.
like food and weddings and things. Now we're talking about funding.
Trust me, man, there's so many people listening right now that are so interested in this because everybody has a great idea, but they need that assistance, they need that opportunity. And with you, they're kind of getting that opportunity. And maybe you can tell us a bit more what exactly Cashflow Capital actually is. What are you guys doing and what is the opportunity?
Yeah, so Cashflow Capital is it's a working capital provider. So essentially it forms part of a bigger group company called Preference Capital, under which there are several funding companies. So with Cashflow Capital, once you kind of meet with us, we all talk to each other in terms of the different subsidiaries underneath the umbrella. So if you come to us for working capital and it seems like you need asset finance or whatever it is at the end of the day, yeah, we can point you in the right direction. So you're really getting sort of end-to-end business funding solution.
All right, you're providing a lot of what many are chasing essentially when it comes to creating that big idea. But one thing that I'm very certain of is a lot of people may be watching right now like, oh yes, cool, I can get funding finally. But what is the cost of it? Is it going to mean that I'm going to lose control? Do Cashflow Capital now come and just say, okay, well, you're not allowed to do this, and they start running your business? Because a lot of people have this perception that when they try to get funding, they lose control and they lose a lot of what they want out of the company. Is that the case here?
I'd love to take everyone's business, but no, it's not the case.
Okay, well, breathe a sigh of relief, Mzansi. They're not taking your money, they're not taking your control.
No, so I mean, with equity transactions, which, I mean, there's debt and equity.
Yeah.
Typically, then someone would want control. We are only in the debt space, so it's really up to you in terms of how you utilize that, especially for the unsecured product. The other products normally have some restrictions to it, but then you're doing something like you're buying a machine, and renting it until you've paid up the loan and then you own the machine. So, but I mean, you've got full control.
Yeah.
Lenders only care about getting paid back.
How you do it, it doesn't matter. But you guys are there obviously to provide that assistance to make sure that it can also get paid back, right?
I think that's a massive thing from us. So we are very, very focused on our personal relationships with clients. So you're always going to feel like you have someone to talk to, someone to strategize against. It's not like this blanket lender get money and then it's a scary thing of paying us back.
You kind of feel like you're left on your own and
you got to make sure it works. Like a lot of people take on debt for the wrong reasons, or they'll take on too much debt, and you got to make sure it like fits in with your plans for expansion or whatever it is. The right type of debt is very important.
All right. Well, maybe we can speak more specifically about the products that you're offering. I mean, you briefly mentioned it earlier, but when it comes to maybe small and medium businesses, what exactly is it that you can provide for them?
So within Cashflow Capital, there's two main products. The one is an unsecured business loan. There we're normally looking at sort of the cash flow in the business. So we want to see some sort of established business that's got a good track record there.
Some historical data is going to help there.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, lending is a lot about looking at historical data.
Yeah.
But that's nice for like quick things. So, if you're a fast food joint and your chip maker breaks.
Yeah, you need to get that replaced.
It needs to be happen quickly. The other product is trade finance, which facilitates the funding of your purchasing your goods and then selling that on. So whatever that cash conversion cycle is between when you get the goods and when you sell them and when you actually get the money, we can make that process a lot easier so that you keep the cash flow in your business.
All right. Well, look, I mean, it's inviting and refreshing to know that there are these options. And I think for a lot of people maybe struggling with ideas on where can I get the assistance, where can I get the help, definitely comes from you guys. But what's the difference between using something like Cashflow Capital versus your traditional funding options that are around? What makes this a little bit of a better option maybe?
When last did you phone a bank? And how was the experience?
Oh, fair enough. That is true. I mean, you are met with so many obstacles, right? And all the hoops you got to jump through just to kind of get something.
Banks have their place. I mean, we in no way want to replace the banks.
Yeah.
But I think as finance has evolved. Banks are more transactional in nature. Alternative finance really goes outside of the sort of banking realm and looks at, how can we do things differently? How can we do things quicker? How can we give someone more money for the collateral that they're giving us? What makes a client happy at the end of the day? And for us, it's that relationship thing again.
Oh, I absolutely love it. Man, thank you so much, Michael, for coming through, for educating us and for giving us another opportunity. And if people want to apply, you can head over to cashflowcapital.co.za and you can reach out to the team if you are sitting on like a golden idea right now and this is a winner. These are the guys you want to chat to. Because, just not weddings. Because they're definitely going to sort you out. So head over to their website if you are inspired by this conversation, you are needing a little bit of help and assistance. These are the guys, they've got you covered and they've got your back. And on that note, Michael, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I think you're going to get a lot of calls. So keep the phone on and Zanzi, go make those dreams happen. This is a man that can make it materialize. Just gone past the hour now. Let's catch up with Tapiso. I think it's time to check on those headlines.